Oh, don't you? Not even a week ago, this channel celebrated its 5-year anniversary, and I was going to do a video for that, but I decided to delay it a little bit, maybe even into next year, just so I can give it a little bit more time. But it is unfortunate that so close to that event, I am here to bring you pretty ill tidings. You've probably heard by now, this is kind of spreading a lot more. If you don't, I don't know, look it up. This is some pretty important stuff here. If you follow Chad Tronic, he's been talking about it a lot. He's been linking to a lot of stuff on his Twitter. Check some of that out. I don't know if you missed it. Here's the gist, though. This isn't everything in super great detail. This is the gist, though. YouTube messed up. They've been breaking the law for years. They've been mining data from minors who are watching their platform, kids, and they've been using that to, create targeted ads for the kids. This is all very illegal. They've been obviously using their algorithm to give priority to other people who were making disgusting content. You know the type, all the Minions and the Spider-Mans and the Elsas and just like really gross, predatory, copyright-breaking content aimed at kids. It's all super gross stuff. I could go on and on about all that stuff, but they've been encouraging that. They've been trying to make that a thing by allowing it, and the algorithm has been picking them out and monetizing like crazy. So the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, it's a government thing, they had to step in and change something because YouTube just wasn't willing to do it themselves and prepare themselves for the future. They thought, let's just break the law as long as we can and make as much money as we can, and then when things go bad, we will pass the buck to the creators, because that's it's kind of what they always do. Whenever they mess up, we pay the price for it. They got fined by the FTC, but they got fined a teeny tiny fraction compared to what they make. So great, thanks. So the FTC is stepping in and saying if you make content that is for kids, you need to mark it as for kids using YouTube's own little system. There's a little option in your channel thing, or individual videos can be marked as for kids. Ideally, this would just mean that your video only could be viewable in the YouTube Kids app. That would solve a lot of problems. I don't know why it didn't happen that way before, and I don't know why YouTube is not doing that in response to this, because it would solve a lot of problems. But no, instead, what happens is if you mark your video or your channel or whatever as for kids, it means a whole lot of bad stuff. It means it will no longer have targeted ads, which means drastically lower ad revenue, something around 10% as much, so a tiny fraction. But then you'll also not get as many views, so it's going to be even less than 10% because no one can search your video. It will not come up in recommended. People will not get notifications for it. It will basically be invisible unless someone, I think if they subscribe to your channel, it'll still be in their feed if they go to it specifically, and it will be on your channel if they go to your channel directly. But it won't be anywhere else. Nowhere on YouTube, no discoverability, no nothing. It's essentially a death sentence for a video. It's not gonna make you any money and it's not gonna be viewed by anybody. So here's the thing, is they're telling everyone, like, you gotta start marking this stuff, and that's all well and good. But then you start looking into the specifics that they're talking about in the law, and they're being super vague about it. They're saying it's not even just stuff that is explicitly for kids, because my content is not for kids. It's not. It's for everybody. It's like the Muppets versus Sesame Street. I hate to bring those up specifically because I get compared to those a lot, but it's a really good comparison. I mean, I'm a colorful character. I'll say that. I'm a colorful guy. I'm blue. Not a lot of YouTubers are blue. Okay, so you have other colorful characters, many with fur. You have Sesame Street and Muppets. That Sesame Street is explicitly for kids. It is content created for kids. It's about learning. It is aimed at young children and basically no one else beyond like little pop culture references and stuff, but that's so the parents don't hate it completely. The Muppets is for adults. It can be enjoyed by kids because it's colorful characters, but it's more adult humor. It's not only for kids. It's just kind of for anybody. You get it. I get it. It's obvious. And then of course, all this other, we like video games, we like toys, we like pop culture. This is our generation. This is just the way that we are now. We grew up still liking this stuff. We're making most of this for ourselves. And yet the wording in the FTC is saying it's not just stuff for kids, but it's anything a kid might like. Anything a kid might find interesting. They specifically mention video games and toys and pop culture and even words like fun and cool and yeah and things that are colorful and vibrant. Like, we like things that are colorful and vibrant. I'm a thing that is a little colorful and vibrant. So that's the real problem here. Like, it's cool that they're coming in to protect the kids. That's great. But the wording is so vague. There's this video of this guy, and you get this, like, this guy who's in charge of all this, and you get this impression that he's, like, totally out for blood. Like, this guy is, like, talking about taking down creators like shooting fish in a barrel, and how it's just like, oh no, we're going after the creators and the content they're making. They're the ones that are to blame here, and we're gonna start taking them down and finding them. And that's the thing, is they're talking about heavy career-destroying fines, potentially per video. And YouTube, of course, especially when this all started, YouTube is coming around saying, you know what, you guys know what's best for if you know that your content is not for kids, then you know best. You're probably going to be fine. Gaming is going to be fine, but get a lawyer. That's what YouTube has been saying, because everything they've been saying is not lining up with what the FTC has been saying. They've been saying, no, anyone making anything that a kid might like is just doomed. We're going to fine you, or you're going to just basically shut off your channel. And like, yeah, we know it's absurd. We know that it is. We know that they are objectively wrong. We know that this is a bad thing. If they do this, this is going to destroy actual legitimate kids content on YouTube. There won't be any anymore, and then kids will still be going online just as much, but they're only going to be seeing stuff that's not appropriate for them. This is going to see a great rise in just stuff that's not for kids at all. And of course, this could, I mean, bear with me, sorry if you think this is overreacting, but like, in theory, the way that it is on paper right now, this could destroy YouTube. It actually could. This could wipe out half the content on the site all at once. And the real problem with me is, like, even if they deem, okay, you know what, video games are okay. We're not going to just say video games overall. Even Nintendo, because Nintendo's a thing that is way more skewed toward kids in terms of the way that it looks. You know, it's colorful. An FTC guy might just be like, well, yeah, Mario's for kids. But like, even barring that, even if they say Nintendo's okay or whatever, it seems like they're gonna have FTC people, you know, goons, whatever, scouring YouTube. That's what they've even said. They're just gonna be scouring YouTube, finding stuff, and they're gonna be, like, it doesn't even matter what the intent is. It doesn't matter what the intended audience is. It's looking at the thumbnail and the title, and like, does this look like something a kid might want to click on? And even if all of my peers are okay, even talking about video games, what does that mean for this guy? This blue, furry, sorry to say it, Cookie Monster looking guy. Even if everyone else is okay, I might not be. I don't know. It like, they've written the law so vaguely that it just comes down to whether or not they wanna. How are they gonna enforce it? And like, it's hard because it's like there's two ways to go about this. Do I just mark my content as for kids, say I'll never make another dime on YouTube, and just try to focus on Patreon and merch and all that stuff so that I don't get fined? Or do I hold my ground, try to keep my career going, and potentially face serious fines? I don't know. I don't want to make a rash decision because we don't know what's going to happen or if something is going to change, but I don't want to be unprepared for things if they go bad. We're going to talk a little bit about the overall plausibility of this. I know there are some people who think we're overreacting, this is fear-mongering, and then there are other people who are like, we might be doomed. I'll talk about that in a bit. I'm going to talk about, these are the potential outcomes for me, that as I see them. Okay, the first potential outcome is they are just writing the law very vaguely to protect themselves and give themselves a lot of power, but they only really intend on going after the, you know, the really bad, the very bad channels that have been really preying on children, the Logan Pauls and all of the gross videos that I was talking about like that, and they might just do that. That'd be great. If in that case, I'm fine. We're all fine. YouTube is fine. Next possible outcome is they do find me, and it's not because of the video games, it's because I'm a blue monster. And so they shoot me with a bunch of fines, and they say, you can make this kind of content, but you can't look like a colorful character on the thumbnail. I'm sorry I look like a colorful character, it's just this is what my mom and dad gave me, all right? They say you can't do that anymore, and I have to just stop being me. I can create all the same content, but I just don't put my face on the thumbnail. You don't see me in the video. I'm just a disembodied voice. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's better than having nothing, but that's pretty lame. I like my face. I like my blue furry face. And so that would be unfortunate. Or even worse, next possible outcome is this is all for kids. Video games are for kids. Nintendo is for kids. I'm for kids. Everything is for kids. And I can still be me, but I have to mark my content as for kids, and I just can't make money anymore. I can't make money on YouTube anymore. I have to rely entirely on my fans. And that's the real problem, is that, like, if that happened, growth would end. YouTube would stop showing, like Twitter would be the new YouTube of, like, how to find me and how to find other YouTubers and stuff. It would just be like my pre-established fans, and anybody who wanders in, it would just be monetizing, you know, trying to do merchandise and trying to focus on other side stuff, and basically struggling a lot more and relying more on people to give me money, which I mean, I appreciate my patrons, but I don't want to just beg everybody for money, because I'm just gonna go, I don't like it. So I don't like that one either. And then if I want to go a little bit more broad and even further in that direction, the last possible outcome is they go full on this. They do this for everybody. They're right. Anyone who says the word yeah, or does a video about a video game or anything, they do it, and they fine us all, and they fine us all so much money. We can't do YouTube anymore. People can't do it anymore because it can't make money, and it's not worth the risk. We'll always have hobbyists and stuff, but it's gonna even be hard for them, because if they're having to mark their stuff as for kids and nobody is finding it and nobody's watching it and no new channels are coming along, even if it wouldn't be the death of YouTube, it would be the death of YouTube as we know it, as a platform where you go on and you discover new creators and they are creating and having audiences and all that stuff. It would just be a file hosting site, and you'd have to discover elsewhere. Like I said, like Twitter would be the new YouTube. You'd go on Twitter and look at people's retweets and stuff to try to find new videos, and you'd have to find them directly through the links and stuff. So the overall plausibility, like I said, you have some people who are like, this can't happen. Some of this is so ridiculous with all the fines and everything, it can't be real. This is unprecedented. But then on the other hand, like, you look at the wording. They're saying it. I'm not going to trust a government agency who is saying we have the right to completely destroy you. And you just have to hope that we don't, even though we're saying we're going to. And that's the thing. Like, is this fear-mongering? Is this overreacting? Maybe. I mean, I'm trying not to panic about it, but I don't feel good about it, that's for sure. I have had a pretty yucky, sick feeling in my tummy for the last couple days now. I don't want to overreact and start deleting my channel, but I also don't want to be unprepared if things go bad. And I don't want to have to spend all of my money on a lawyer just to look at this case and potentially not even help me, just so I can feel safe. I don't really know. I don't want to preemptively set myself to a kid's channel, and just that would preemptively ruin me. That would just be like me throwing in the towel. So I want to hold my ground, but are they gonna just you know what I mean? Are they gonna destroy me with the fines? I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't want to say I'm right in the middle. I'm more on the end of worrying, because as it is right now, like the vase is falling. If no one catches the vase, it's gonna crash. It's gonna crash on the floor. I'm not gonna say, oh, we're overreacting. It's probably not gonna crash. No, it is. It's on its way right now. And so the only thing that's kind of helping me out right now is that YouTube stands to lose a lot of money, and a lot of other organizations stand to lose a lot of money, a lot of big YouTube channels and stuff. So the only thing helping me out right now is knowing that they are fighting. It's not just on us little gaming guys. There's a lot of people who this will affect, and so they're all throwing their voices out there and trying to make this not happen, including Google themselves, and they're very big. I mean, they're not acting like they're doing anything about it, but I have to imagine they're going to. I have to imagine they themselves are going to fight this. I know they paid their fine. Maybe they're not going to fight it because they know they broke the law so much that they're like, we don't really have any say in this. I don't really know. So I just have to hope that people are fighting it. What you can do is, I'll put the links in the description, or you can find them. They're all over the place. It's not a lot. It's really not a lot, but there is a petition. Great, a petition. There's a petition you can go sign. And then also we have been invited to leave comments on the FTC website telling them that this is wrong. And so they've extended the date or something that we can do that until like somewhere in December, like 8th of December or something like that. We don't know what's going to happen, but at least we can do that. Isn't it always fun then when it's this big issue that affects everybody? They don't let us vote for it. They just, I'm not going to get super political here, but isn't it kind of frustrating, this big, giant change that affects everybody? And, well, no, you don't vote for it. We're just going to do it. You can complain loudly if you want to. We might change it. We might actually listen to reason. But otherwise, we're just going to do this thing that is objectively wrong. It will only hurt people, hurt kids, hurt the platform, hurt everybody. It's a fact. It's an actual fact that if you understand how this works, it's only going to be a bad thing. And that's the whole thing everyone's saying. It's like more harm than good is what they're trying to say. Hashtag more harm than good. So, we'll just have to see. I'm trying to have a good attitude, but it's hard. And I've already been very stressed trying to get out I got so much work to do through the end of this month and into December. And, that was already bad enough. And now I got this, and I'm finding it very hard to function properly. Very hard to stay motivated and do all this fun work and be talking about, I'm going to do my predictions video. What's going to be happening next year? Am I going to be making content next year? Is this going to be viable next year? I really don't know. Is it going to look like something completely different? Am I going to have to stop YouTube completely and just make a podcast or something and just try to monetize that through Patreon? I don't really know. There's a lot of ways that this could go, but do what you can. Go sign the petition and leave a comment on their site. It doesn't feel very good. It doesn't feel very empowering, but at the very least, over the last few days, we've had at least one or two of the FTC chairman people being like, hey, we're listening. Cool, thanks for leaving comments. I don't know if that works, but people are talking, they are hearing it. We just have to hope that they see reason. It's good to protect kids. COPPA in itself is still a good idea, but they just can't do it the way that it is currently written. Currently written is bad. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments, yada yada. Sorry, I'm just feeling it's a little poopy. Sorry to throw out the P word, but it's poopy. It's feeling a little poopy right now. But okay, that's all right. I'm just gonna keep plugging away at videos. You try to have yourself a good day. Try to stay positive. Try to enjoy your YouTube content, and we're never, if we get through this, I'm never gonna take it for granted again that YouTube is an amazing platform and that we are very lucky to have it. Go tell a creator that you love today that you love them. Tell them on Twitter, tell them in a comment or something. Go tell them you love them and that you appreciate them and you're thinking about them. Have a good day. See you later.